Hey y'all, so my name is Ebony and I'm a student right now at Western Governors University, aka WGU. And I wanted to make this video for the students who are entering and have been looking for information but cannot find much of any. So I've been a student at WGU for a little over 6 months now, and I am in their pre-licensure nursing program. When I was applying, or before I was applying, I looked all through TikTok and even YouTube a little bit just to see what people were saying about the school and if I could get any information about the program. This program is still fairly new, so there wasn't a lot of information out there at that time. They had a nursing program that was getting like phased out, I guess. So those people who graduated this year have been called like the legacy program. So for those of us who have started this year, and I want to say maybe like December of 2023 or something like that, we're considered in the new program. So things that have changed has been the tuition. Even the tuition has gone up just since I've been here in 6 months. They've increased the tuition. I have an issue with that just because of the structure of the program. It's a lot of self-teaching, and when you are trying to earn your BSN, that's not easy at all. So of course they have cohorts and other like webinars you can watch, but it's really mostly you teaching yourself and using outside resources to do so. They do provide some resources and ebooks and things of that nature through their Elsevier or Elsevier, I think that's how you, Elsevier website, but you still gonna have to put in extra work and join some Facebook groups and meet some other people and use your own resources basically to pass these tests, because it's so much information and you do not know what's going to be on the test. So every class has what's called pre-assessments and objective assessments. Pre-assessments are just what they sound like, pre-assessments. They go by PA, and the OAs are basically like the final for each class. So pre-assessments, they prefer for you not to use material zone because you want to know like if you're prepared for the OA, but you can use materials on the pre-assessments. But the OAs are proctored, okay? Heavily proctored. And since I've been going to the school, they've changed the proctors. So a lot of us have been struggling with these proctors and the system that they are using now. It's taken hours to get your test set up just to be able to complete the objective assessment. It's been a headache. It has been reported hundreds of times at this point, and I don't know what they're going to do about it. The proctoring service that WGU is using has been my major gripe. Not necessarily my only gripe, because the other one is having to basically teach myself more than I thought I would. But the major problem is the proctoring system that they've decided to use. Because I guess this company bought out the previous company. I don't know. I think I took like 2 tests with the previous company and I had no issues. The current proctors that we're using, ProctorU, that's what it's called. It's just issues after issues after issues. And every student just about has been dealing with these problems. And it got to the point where I started reporting it as sabotage, because I'm like, these people from other countries have to be sabotaging our test at this point. First of all, there's no reason that it should take 2, 3, 4 hours to set up a test, to scan our room, to look at our ID, all these things. Like, it shouldn't take that long for the system to keep shutting down, kicking you out, all that. Like, that would make any student frustrated. That would make you have anxiety before the test start. And now your head is barely in the game to get the work done, right? So we're reporting this, and all they're really telling us is, yeah, we don't know. We're working on it. We're trying to let the school know. And I'm just thinking at this point, we're paying tuition and y'all increased tuition on us for this. Come on now. So that's been my biggest headache. And it did cause me to fail one of my OAs. And I've had to go through a whole remediation process, even though they knew that it was because of the proctoring system, me getting cut out, me having to wait to get back in, all of these things. So that definitely bothered me. That's a story for another day. And because of that test, it basically pushed me back in my term. And now I have to prepare to take that test again. Don't know what the test is going to consist of. Don't know really anything. There's no way to sit here and study, a whole textbook of information. But all you can really do is try your best, I guess. So with that being said, if I would have passed that test the first time, I had no issues passing any of my other tests. This one was just a major headache. But if I would have passed that test, I would have been working on foundations of nursing, which I am currently working on at the same time as my pharmacology class at this point. But I would have been pretty much finished with pharmacology as well as foundations. And then I would have been able to move into lab, because you can take foundations of nursing at the same time as you do your labs. I'm here in Florida, so I don't really know where my labs are going to be taking place. I know somebody said maybe in Sarasota. I don't really know how that's going to work, even for clinicals, because if that's the case, I live like an hour away from Sarasota. So I would have to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to stay in a hotel or if I am going to just commute every day. I don't know if they'll have me on night shift yet or day shift. So before all of that, I had completed my objectives to be able to enroll in the lab and clinical portion of the program. So all of that is set. I had to do fingerprints. I had to do a drug test. I had to make sure all my vaccines were up to date. Also, if you don't have like the COVID shot, you can get a waiver for it, but they will not, to my knowledge, allow you to get a waiver for the flu shot. So I had to get the flu shot. This was my first year having the flu shot in, I don't know, probably since 2016 or 17, and that was because of the military. But those were some things that we had to do. You also had to complete some modules that talks about like the safety of like being in the hospital and being in a clinical setting and things of that nature in order to prepare you for labs and clinicals. So WGU has so many different programs for bachelor's and master's degrees. Like I said, I am in the pre-licensure nursing program, so I will finish with a BSN. The program it's a 4-year program, but they allow you to transfer in enough credits that will take it down to 2.5 years. They say that nobody can complete the program in less than 2.5 years because they have all of these requirements for us. I would highly suggest taking as many courses at like a community college or either Sophia Learning. That's another site that you could use. You do have to pay for it. It's like a subscription, but you can get as many classes as you can get done in like a month. I think I completed about 6 or 7 courses in a month on just that one price that I paid. You guys can look more into it. It is called Sophia Learning. WGU accepts their classes as transfer credits. So that is like a little cheat code right there. A lot of people have done that. So you're able to do that as long as you don't sign like all the documents to actually enroll yet. So if you give them your previous transcripts, if you have any, and they come back and they say, hey, we'll take all of these courses, but you still need statistics, or you still need anatomy and physiology 1, 2, labs, things of that nature. Like for me, I had to redo anatomy and physiology 1 because it was over 5 years. I've been going to school for a long time. So it basically expired. I had to redo it. Got it done, got it out the way using Sophia Learning. It was simple. So if you can take that route, take that route. And then if you can get all the prereqs done, in your first term, you're required to take 4 courses, which is critical thinking, nutrition. What was the others? It's 2 more. But those are the 4 that they won't allow you to transfer in. Which it was a lot of people who had already taken nutrition at like their other schools and stuff, and they just won't allow you to do that. I think it's more of a money thing, but you guys know how education is. So just keep that in mind. The more courses you get knocked out, the quicker you'll be able to complete within the 2-year time frame. But it is something to keep in mind, because doing the classes through WGU can be more difficult, especially with them all having to be proctored and the amount of work that WGU may require for some of those prerequisites. The last thing I will add is that it is possible. This program is definitely doable. And I'm sure it'll get more difficult as the terms go on and the more classes that we have to do. But it's doable, okay? And the terms being self-paced is very helpful, especially for moms, especially for just parents. I don't want to make it just about moms, but for parents in general, for people who live busy lives. It's self-paced, even though you need to complete your courses within a certain time frame. And I believe each term is like 6 months. So don't be discouraged. Give it a go. Give it a try. I would encourage the school, even with the system that they're using right now for proctoring. It's cool. Just put your best foot forward. Have faith in God, and give it your all. You can do this. We can do it, and we all can be on the journey together. Thank you for watching my videos. Go ahead and subscribe for more content, and I will be following up with more in-depth resources for each class as I go through them.